Hey guys, welcome to another episode on Stage 3. I am Julien, of course.
And I'm James as always.
Right now, we're going to talk about a spoiler-free review of Captain Marvel. When he gets back finishing watching Captain Marvel, we will do a spoiler review
Yeah, we'll
of
talk
Captain
about it a
Marvel.
little more in depth.
Yeah, so from there, I'm going to talk about some pros, cons, and things of that nature, and then give you an overall rating for you. But without further ado, James, is there anything you want to...
I'm trying to think. So the biggest thing, because from what I've heard overall, is that people are like, yeah, it was good.
It was.
I was kind of not expecting much because most of the first movies in all of the Marvel series, when you break it down, most of them are actually pretty bad.
Yes.
So being even good in this, I think, is very, very high. I think the only one that was probably really great was Guardians 1.
Yes.
The one thing I've also noticed is that ever since Guardians' popularity has kind of taken off, a lot of movies such as Thor have kind of tried to replicate its same kind of style a bit.
I would agree.
Do you see that at all in this one?
Captain Marvel, in my opinion, takes a lot of the tropes from Guardians, Iron Man, and a few of the origin MCU movies and try to mesh them all together. So, like, because this is filmed in the 90s and, you know, Guardians is more of like an 80s trope with more 80s stuff in it, this film tries to take that same magic that happened in Guardians of the Galaxy with the 80s references and things like that and try to make it with the 90s reference. Some of them hit, some of them don't. I mean, it's the truth. But yeah, it does try to make that magic. And I would agree. It's entertaining. It was a good movie. Is it this cultural phenomenon everybody's trying to make it out to be? No, I think Wonder Woman did a way better job with that, which we'll talk about in a moment. But I will say, out of all the origin MCU movies, this one will be on the upper ladder of all of those.
Okay.
Out of all 21 movies, I have this at number 12.
That's too much in depth for me to think about.
So what I mean by that, it's right there in the middle of the pack.
Yeah, but I'm just like,
know?
oh, fuck, how many?
Exactly. And so that's what I'm saying. I have it right there in the middle of the pack. I don't think it was something that I'll be like, oh my God, I'm going to go out my way to buy it in 4K and all this other stuff. It's one of those movies where if it was on FX, I'd be like, okay, I'm going to pause it and watch the rest of what's going on. Like, it was one of those movies.
Because I'm thinking about, you said there's 21 movies now?
Yes.
I can probably say confidently I think 7 are good.
Yes.
Like, really good. It's like a third. Because there's probably like a great third, an okay third, and a bad third. If not more on the bad side.
I was about to say, that's exactly what I was going to say. So if I were to look at my list now, because I rank all of them. I rank all the Marvel movies. Sorry, yeah, I'm a nerd. I don't care. So I would say the first 7 for me, I agree. No. First 9 for me are the best.
Okay.
And then the next, like, 7 are like okay, and then the rest are just terrible.
Well, quick side note, what do you have for the good ones? Like the really good ones?
Winter Soldier, Black Panther, Guardians, Iron Man, Civil War, Homecoming, and Ragnarok. And then 2 that irons it out at the end is Avengers and Avengers Infinity War. Those are the ones that iron it out at the end.
I have a problem with the first Avengers, but it's very cookie cutter.
I mean, for what it was back in 2012, that's why I'm not.
But that's why I wouldn't have Iron Man on mine, because back then it was really good, but now comparative wise, it's just fine. Anyway, back to Captain Marvel. So a lot of people's problem with Superman, he's just super powerful, and like the threats are more like psychological, like. Can he do it all? I'm assuming similar with this, where she's very strong, but it's more like she gets presented with a catch-22 where she doesn't know really which way to go to actually save the day. I'm assuming situation in this.
You're right on the nose.
Yeah, because she's one of the strongest characters in the whole universe. So
right, and the problem with this film, and you're gonna see when you watch it. The thing is, it's like James said, like Superman, Captain Marvel is the strongest person on the planet, so you got to find a way to make a character arc good enough for me to be like, okay, like this is a great character journey. What is the biggest problem with this movie here is there's no character journey for her, right? Yeah. There's no like, okay, this happened, she needs to grow and become this person. It's more about like, hey, I need to do this, do this, do this, do this. Oh, okay, I didn't know to the full extent of my powers. Cool, that's it. It's like, She didn't have any growth. She was the exact same person in the beginning of the movie than she was at the end of the movie. And so I would say with Man of Steel, at least we got some kind of character arc with him.
Yeah.
You know? But with Captain Marvel, it was just like, I'm a badass and I'm a badass throughout.
Besides everyone we've seen in the trailers, like your Coulson, your Fury, your Ronins and stuff, and in the actual movie, because there's probably stuff after the movie I don't care about, not that.
Mm-hmm.
Do we see, just yes or no, do we see any other characters we recognize? I can't imagine so, but
No.
no like young Tony Stark is on the TV. Okay.
No.
I'm kind of happy about that, because that's one thing I did worry about is I don't like them relying on their current cast too hard.
Yeah, nobody in the current cast. Yeah, nobody in the current cast besides Ronan was
Which
in
is
this
kind
film.
of yeah.
Um,
No one's going to go see this for Ronan. Like,
no.
trying to think of any other major things. I don't know. I'm trying to think of anything that I want to say that won't just give me spoilers.
Right, I'm trying not to spoil it as much as I can without telling you.
How's the supporting cast?
Ironically, this is what Johnny and I kind of agreed to disagree with. I liked the supporting cast. Well, we both agreed that we like the supporting cast. How they portray them is a completely different thing. Sam, all right, so Sam and Brie Larson together, you know, Captain Marvel and Nick Fury, them two together doing quips and things of that nature kept me going throughout the entire movie because those two partnering up together was really fun to watch. Ben Middleton, wow. Arguably his best role he has done in a while since Rogue One. I didn't like him in Ready Player One. I did not like him in Robin Hood. I didn't like him in Dark Knight Rises. This film, and like Rogue One, has shown me his acting chops, and I really liked him in this film. You'll see why later. Who else?
Who does he play in any of those movies?
Oh,
Over this one, Ben Middleton. I'm trying to think of the face.
if I point it out, then it's kind of ruining it.
Well, who was he in Star Wars?
Oh, he's Krennic.
The redhead guy?
No, the one with the white cape in Rogue One.
The old guy? I'm trying to think real hard. Give me or another movie you say. That's what I'm trying to think of what his face looks like.
I'm gonna just give you his face.
Because the only characters I can put faces to are Jude Law.
This has been
Okay.
But the thing is you see him in some things. I won't tell you what, but you'll see him in something. Jude Law. Johnny and I both agree on this too. Jude Law in action films doesn't get a lot of credit. He doesn't do a lot in it. So it's just like
Wait, he doesn't get a lot of credit or he doesn't do a lot?
he doesn't do it's not he does they don't make him do enough and he doesn't and his acting is just like all over the place.
Okay. So I was thinking when you say he doesn't do a lot of credit, I'm like, oh, so he's really good and people don't credit him enough. But so he just kind of
by the numbers
bland, vanilla.
Kind of vanilla. Oh, actually there is one person that you notice from the movies. Not any big names, but a little cameo from Guardians. Another character from Guardians is in this film. But other than that, yeah, Lynch, she's Maria, basically Captain Marvel's best friend. She's really well. Now, Marvel, she's good in what she's doing, but then there's certain aspects in her roles which we'll get to in the spoiler review when you watch it. You're just sitting there like, why did y'all do this? And I feel like they were making Marvel do too many things in this movie, which kind of hurts the movie. Not only just the character journey, but that. And then also, this hurts the timeline quite a lot with Captain Marvel, because I don't want to spoil why it ruins the timeline, but it kind of is like, so...
It's like, wait, if this happened, then how did this happen type thing?
Yes, it's like, okay, this happened in this movie, but then in phase one, you said this happened. So how does this clash? And we'll talk about that when you watch it.
Do we figure out why the hell she's gone the whole time? Do they actually say that? You don't tell me why, but do they?
They explain it.
Okay.
Does it
make no sense why she's gone for like 30 years?
It doesn't. Because the thing is this. Something happens at the end and you're like, oh, that's nice that you're doing that. But it takes you that long?
That's what I'm saying.
It
Because
takes you that long to go do that?
she's supposed to be super strong, super fast. She's, like I said, she's pretty much Superman. What the fuck's taking her 30 years?
So, I'm gonna spoil this. I'm gonna spoil this part. This is the only spoil I'm gonna give for you, right? So, when she leaves Earth, of course she's leaving Earth at the end of the film, she gives Nick
the pager.
The pager. And basically it's a pager that he had when he was first starting in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Starting in S.H.I.E.L.D. And she was like, I redid your pager. This is what you can use. And I'll be able to see you. I'll be able to understand the pager within like 3 galaxies of each other, right? Mm-hmm. Don't use my pager for only emergencies only. Don't call me for anything else besides emergencies only while she does this other thing, right? So Sam says, bet. Takes the pager, and then she goes and leaves on her own. And like I said, it was a sentimental moment on why she did that, but I'm like, it took you 25, 26 years to just do this little mission? Really?
And so I'm pretty sure when Thanos snapped, it's supposed to be all existence. But now I guess they're only going to say it's for the galaxy that he was in?
No, it's half of the universe. He said half of the universe. So the thing is that's another problem I have. So she does this mission, right? She's doing this mission and it's all this. And you mean to tell me when Thanos did his snap, you didn't notice this happen? And you didn't decide to come to Earth and find out what happened? I don't know. I mean,
because it wouldn't be just Earth. It'd be, I don't know.
It's the entire universe. It is. He said it's the entire universe. The only thing is I want to see why it took her so long to get there. Because again, like they just threw it in there, and I'm just like,
is she supposed to be super smart too?
They don't make her that smart.
How'd she mess with this pager? Pagers are advanced technology.
So she's the Kree. She's in this galactic world, and so she used to be an air pilot, but she doesn't remember that. So being trained by Jude Law and a couple of the other Kree, she's learned how to be a
soldier,
right? Tactical soldier, and using how to do comms. She was a big comms person.
Okay, so I guess
that kind of helps with it. Again, it's like you throw little tidbits in the story to make it this way, and it's just like.
It's still kind of hard for me to believe that someone who just knows a little bit of comms work can make a pager work between galaxies, but hey, I'll buy it.
That's what I'm like. Some of the parts of this movie doesn't make sense. Like I will say it here on stage 3, the story is all over the place. It is. I feel like they did too much world building and then not enough backstory for her, or they tried to do a lot of backstory or try to do a lot of story building and it doesn't work out very well. I felt like Coulson only was in there for 2 scenes, and I'm just like,
that's a bummer.
Yeah. Like I said, the 90s references are good. The final act, Lord have mercy. The final act isn't terrible, but it's like how I felt with, not Man of Steel, but how I feel like without trying to spoil it, it's like if Superman was to fight the army.
Yeah, right? I mean, we've seen in the trailers her just blowing up ships and shit in space. That's what I figured the fight was.
And it's like, okay, you're fighting the army. Ooh, this is a very, very big problem.
That's something like, it's hard to write around those characters when you want to make them strong, but now you've made them too strong. What are you going to do?
Well, and see, the thing is what I was thinking was going to happen is Ronan was going to come in, fight her, she get her ass kicked a little bit, and then she realizes her full potential, then goes whoop his ass, right? I think that's what...
Hey, man, don't tell me more, because that's telling me what doesn't happen still a spoiler. Because now I know that doesn't happen.
Sorry. I'm just... And so you're like, okay, that doesn't happen. Okay. Ronan still do something in the 3rd act, and you're like, okay, all right, but it's just like, that's it? Really? Is this it? All right, cool. That's not how I wanted it to go. All right. Other than that, yeah, it was fine.
Yeah, I didn't feel a rush to go see this. What? Something just your mind?
Something literally just tricked my mind. Why? That doesn't make sense. All right, sorry guys. I just realized something in this movie, and this is why I want to do this podcast that we're gonna talk about later. I have a podcast idea that I want to do. This is why I want to make this podcast because it does this literally does not make any sense for me. Like literally what I just thought about, it does not make sense continuity wise for the MCU. When you watch the movie, I'm gonna point out what I'm talking about in terms of like how in phase one they said one thing and then this movie kind of retcons that.
Mm-hmm.
And then literally I just realized that, wow, that really doesn't make sense. Well, we'll get to that. We'll get to that in the spoiler review.
Well,
but
that's gonna when you have
wow
20 plus movies with different writers and directors, stuff's gonna get fucked up.
But here's my thing though, and this is why I say I hate to say it, and this is why I like DC's overarching theme more than I like some of Marvel's. And I'm gonna explain why. I'm gonna explain why in just a moment. DCEU, as terrible as the execution of the movies are, one thing that I can understand to an extent is how everything doesn't retcon itself, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like with DCEU, what I like about them to a little extent is like, hey, some tidbits here and there are in this film, but continuity-wise, majority of it makes sense. So yeah, there's a few details here and there that doesn't make any sense in the DCEU, but mostly all the movies somewhat have the same timeline and things like that. Whereas with the MCU, what you realize in phase 3 and phase 2 is you kind of retcon what happened in phase 1, and you're sitting there like, okay, if that's the timeline, then how can I make the timeline right? Or if this happened, if A happened, how did B make sense? Or B equals C for some weird way, and it's like, that doesn't make sense. So like with Captain Marvel, it kind of like destroys the timeline because I'm sitting here wondering, and we were talking about this with a coworker yesterday. I'm like, yeah, if Marvel did X, Y, and Z, but X, Y, and Z happened 20 years later, how in the hell did X, Y, and Z happen? You'll see what I mean when you watch the movie. And I'm just like,
Remember when Quicksilver got shot by a bullet? That was dumb.
hey, and with the merger with Fox and Disney, you're gonna explain how Eric's kid just got killed.
Yeah, there's a lot of dumb stuff.
We're gonna see how that goes.
Isn't Phoenix come out soon?
Phoenix comes out in June.
They pushed it again. They're pushing it to December. Good. Push it off the fucking table.
Disney ain't gonna do that. Hold on, I need to find out.
I'm just thinking about how all the dumb stuff. I mean, that's the biggest problem with if they're trying to put. Are they gonna reboot?
Yeah, it comes out in June.
Mutants again, like.
Well, the thing is Disney has came out and said that they are highly thinking about recasting everybody for X-Men, which I think is dumb. I honestly think it's dumb. The only person, no offense to you, Sophie, I do think you might need to recast Jean Grey.
Oh yeah, she's bland, unfortunately.
I mean, she's bland in Game of Thrones, but that's neither here or there. But I feel like James McAvoy, Michael Fassbender, Alexander Shipp, let's say, is just not a great actor in most other movies, but she does a really good job of playing Storm. And everybody else does a decent job for me to be like, okay, I'll watch them again, you know?
Beast is fine.
Nicholas Hoult does a good job as playing Beast, and that's why I'm like, why are you going to recast all these people? The only person who you need to recast is Logan. Like,
I hate Cyclops, but that's because I hate the actor and the character.
The character's a tool.
Isn't that Ready Player One? Is that same guy? Yeah, I fucking hate that guy, dude. That guy sucks.
He's a tool.
Him and the guy who played Whiplash. Not Mickey Rourke Whiplash, but like Whiplash.
Oh, Miles
Turner.
Miles Turner.
I hate both those guys. When they got the same face, they look like eggplant heads. I hate those motherfuckers.
When J.K. Simmons was hitting his ass, I was like, yeah.
J.K. Simmons is dope, though. Give me some more J.K. Simmons. They need to recast him as J. Jonah Jameson, by the way.
Yes.
He's the only person who can play him. No one else has played him since because it was too perfect.
You hear that, Sony and Marvel? Get it together. Also, there's a podcast. I know we're going off on a tangent, but there's a podcast where J.K. Simmons was playing as J. Jonah
Yeah,
Jameson after the snap.
Yeah. And he's like, "Where's Parker? He died in the snap." Parker, don't listen to me. You're fired. Yeah, that was pretty good. Yeah,
I love that. But yeah, other than that, like I feel like the MCU is getting ahead of itself now because of the Fox merger. You got to show the first family. You got to do X-Men. Now the question is going to be, how is Captain Marvel going to do this again? Is she going to be like Batman from the Justice League? Hey, don't call me unless you need me, kind of thing.
because now she's there. It's like we don't need anyone else.
Right. So now it's like, okay, are you only going to come when they need you to, or you're going to be around Earth because they want you around? Like, what's your deal now? You know? So I don't know. We'll see how it goes.
Since they're gonna recast X-Men about 27 more times, put down in the comments what X-Men you think we're gonna get cast as eventually when they're all out of other people to cast as X-Men. No points if you put Charles Xavier and Beast. Those two don't count.
Those two don't count.
And if you put the Blob for me, ouch, that hurt my feelings. I got nothing.
Other than that, like I'll put it this way. Instead of just giving like out of 5 scores, I'm gonna try to rechange the way we categorize films now, because I think it's kind of hard to like.
My 5 versus your 5 isn't the same.
Right. So for me, I would put these are the categories. I would say go watch it in theaters, wait until buy it on DVD, wait until Netflix, wait on TV, or don't watch it at all. I would put this wait for Netflix.
Okay.
I'd say wait for Netflix.
Well, in that case, I won't see it till then. No, I'm kidding.
Or actually, backtrack, wait until it gets on Disney Plus, because this will be the first movie that will not be on Netflix. It'll be on Disney Plus.
Yeah. I'm like I said, had it not come out in a weird time when I was flying to Pittsburgh for small mini vacation and immediately coming back to work, and I've been more or less working ever since I had a couple days off that were my actual relax days, I probably would have seen it, but it didn't seem like it was, from everyone telling me about this movie, it didn't seem like it was you have to go see this.
It's not you have to go see it. The only reason why you want to go see it is just to see what Captain Marvel's been doing since Endgame. I will say that for you to find out if you called your shot or not, which somebody already spoiled it for you, to see if you called your shot, yeah, you should have watched it. But because somebody already spoiled it for you, to be honest, you could wait.
Thanks, Matt Brown. Continue spoiling things all my fucking life.
But hey, at least you know you're 100. You're for 100.
I'm killing the game, though. Y'all watch out. I'm going to predict the end of the universe. Snap the whole damn thing away.
But I will definitely say, if you're a huge MCU fan, you can wait to rent it on DVD or buy it on 4K or Blu-ray, whatever you decide to buy it on. If you're a huge fan and you just want to understand everything, go to watching the movies. If you're an average Marvel fan or an average movie go see it, wait till it comes on streaming. Wait, it's all right. But like I said, it's more entertaining than most of the other origin movies.
That's good.
But that is it from us. You'll see a spoiler review about Captain Marvel as soon as he goes watch the movie. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, turn off notifications if you haven't. What did you think of Captain Marvel? Did you think it was an abysmal bust? Do you think it was really good? Do you think it was terrible? Just let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to follow us on all our social media. After that, I don't think there's anything else. What about you, James?
Called it.
He's 100%. Nobody can get that yet. Nobody's.
I'm just gonna make a clip of everything I predicted with a date on it. Like, boom, this was this, this was this, this was this.
How you feel now? But that is the end of this video. Thank you for joining us, guys. We'll see you guys next time. Peace.